The same swords, the same techniques clash. My attack and his attack are the same. But still, the blades chip away and my body's wounded the more we fight. The attack that I blocked breaks through. Kancho in my left hand is destroyed by his Kancho and his weapon sweeps at me from the side. I twist my body to dodge it, but it still slashes me. Although not immediately fatal, the wound will eventually overcome me. Damn. I bear the pain by cursing and swing Bakuya at the close enemy. What? It's blocked and destroyed as well. We have the same swords and the same techniques, but there is a gap that I cannot fill. Did you think my Kancho and yours are equal? Your assumptions of the basic structure are still too weak. Even if you get the appearance and the composition materials down, it is a matter of course for it to be destroyed if the structure is not reasoned out. Even an image falters if it is illogical. My temple and my side. He attacks both my vital spots at once. I immediately project the twin swords and parry the attacks. My head hurts to the point of blurring my sight. It's not because of the strain of immediate projection. This is that headache. The instinct I felt when I was searching for Tosuka. The slight fever I got every time I faced him. That strain now threatens to drive me mad. I parry his attacks. I step in and slash at his body. The red headache burns my eyes every time I do so. Is it because of the contradiction that Emiya Shiro and the heroic spirit Emiya are existing at the same time? Ever since we recognized each other's identities, my body breaks every time we touch each other. I traced his sword technique and even his reproduction ability. It's natural for them to suit me. His abilities are Emiya Shiro's optimal technique, perfected over many years of training. There's no way it would not suit me. In trying to match his skill, I allowed myself to learn too much about my future self. My eyeballs go numb. Every time I swing the sword, every time the sparks fly out, I'm attacked with a flash so strong that it could blind me. I'm no match for him, and my vision fills with red every time we exchange blows. If that's the worst of it, I don't care. My body is already torn apart. My headache is nothing compared to the burning wound in my stomach. The problem is that the headache won't stop because there's something I'm still drawing out from him. That's the 5th one. You should be nearing your limits of reproduction using projection. I know your magical energy capacity. You have 3 more. Even though I showed that to you, you still misunderstand. His scornful voice contains some disappointment. Misunderstand? I don't care about that. More than anything, I have to do something about this headache right now. The thing flowing from you. Well, it will be impossible for you even if you arrive at that. It is not enough with the magical energy you can generate right now. Yes. Either way. My headache gets worse. He raises his twin swords to finish the match. You had no chance of victory to begin with. He swings them down in a cross. The swords I blocked them with are destroyed. My body becomes numb as if a hammer had been smashed on it, and the headache... Oh. Okay then. And the headache finally sears my brain as well as my eyes. It's flowing into me. So, this is... scarier than the pain. This is his memory. The reason he changed so much. I can see bits and pieces of what will happen to Emiya Shiro in the future. I don't know if it was correct or not. Nobody will be able to determine that. The beautiful things were ugly and the ugly things were beautiful. There is nothing disgusting once you look at it objectively. So why is there such a deviation? Sophistry, falsehood, trickery, vanity. Those are what he saw the most.
I am the bone of my soul.
I am English! I am speaking the English! But still, it seems he did not care. There was an ideal and an oath he had to protect. He did not care what he lost to do so. Even when he was betrayed, he believed there would be a next time if he did not betray himself. He did not show grief or pain.
Steel is my body, and fire is my blood.
He is like a cold-blooded machine to others. He was a convenient existence, so he was conveniently used. He was only a tool in other people's eyes, but the machine had an ideal it wanted to protect, so it accepted its role as a convenient tool.
I have created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death, and unknown to life.
It's not something to go around proclaiming. The more he kills and the more he's unable to save, the less he can talk about his ideal. The only thing left for him is to obstinately protect his ideal until the very end. And the result? The ideal Emiyashiro dreamed of has never been accomplished. And he found out that it's just nonsense dreamed by a fool who is only a nuisance to others.
Have withstood pain to create many weapons.
I've withstood many English lessons to learn how to speak it properly. See, this is his end. See, this is your end. My mind gives in. I won't feel compassion. I won't feel compassion. I won't feel compassion. I won't feel compassion. But my mind almost gives in, thinking that I will be following this exact path.
Yet, those hands will never hold anything.
What you believed in. What you believe in. You're shown that it is just a fantasy that is covered with lies, and still. His weapon closes in. A horn-like sword comes to pierce my heart. I get away. I have in my hands the twin swords I quickly projected. I force down my nausea. What was I seeing? Forget it. Forget what you just saw. You need to defeat him. You should focus everything on that goal. I guess it's a miscalculation. I've heard of magic that lets you acquire skills from the past by possessing yourself with a previous self. It seems your skills improve the more you fight me. My shoulders heaving, I prepare myself for his attack. Then my projection shouldn't be the only thing you got from me. That face. Seeing that nasty face of yours. You saw it too. My breathing stops. Don't let me say it. Don't let me recall it. If you say what I just saw, then it is simple. It's all true, Emiyashiro. His red cloak moves. He closes in on me at an instant and thrusts the horned sword. It's destroyed in one blow. There's no way a hastily constructed sword and a first attempt at that would match his sword. But even though I'm empty-handed, he throws away his sword. He projects Durandal, the renowned sword of the king. I skip about 4 steps and quickly reproduce his weapon, but of course such an imitation is destroyed in one blow. I fall. I'm repelled and I land with my back on the rubble. That surprises me. The rubble turns red just by having me fall on top of it. Oh, I already know, but it seems my body is almost dead, outside and inside. This is it. Your foolishness for coming here when you know you won't be a match. A mindless imitation, imprisoned by a stupid ideal. Do you understand that those are your true identity? His voice echoes. My body is covered with wounds. It's bad how the wounds are so deep that I can reach inside them and take out my bones. Ugh. There is no value in such a life. I'm sure of it. There is no value in Emiyashiro's life. It is wrong to save just because you want to save. You are a fake that should have never existed as you are broken as a human being. My magical energy is almost depleted. Not only that, the magic circuit to run the magical energy is burned up. No, if I talk about it burning up, it burned up yesterday when I used projection. It's just that an almost broken thing completely broke. But my body is telling me I can still fight. My mind bluffs itself, saying that it has not given in. Ugh. Then, I have to get up and defeat him. It is useless. I am your ideal. You should realize that you cannot match me. I focus the last of my will on the magic circuit. My split nerves scream, but I carefully put together the 8 steps. Trace off. I project his twin swords. Kansho and Bakuya, 2 great swords named after an ancient swordsmith. I swing them. I keep attacking until my remaining energy runs out. My twin swords are met by twin swords. Archer now holds Kansho and Bakuya and parries my attacks without retreating. I see. It's natural for you not to accept it. As I am your ideal, Emiyashiro must not accept me more than anyone. His calm tone pisses me off. I can't even breathe, but he is calm and composed. Damn! I attack with all my energy. Damn. He does not parry my attacks, but pushes them back. I'm pushed back along with my twin swords. The difference in our powers is obvious. There's no way for me to win with pure strength. Then let me ask you, Shiro. Do you really want to be a superhero? For an instant, my mind blanks out from the surprise attack. What? I don't want to become one. I'm going to become one! I glare back at him. Then, yes, you need to become a superhero. Because that is your only emotion. An emotion you can neither betray nor deny. Even if that wish is not born from within you. He stops me with words that grab my heart. What? Not born from within me? I deny them even before I think about what those words mean. I can't let him finish. I can't realize that fact. If I find out, Emiyashiro's foundation will crumble. Oh. It seems you have a vague idea of it. No. You knew it, but you tried your best to keep that from yourself. You cannot even remember now. Stop! I start to say before I stop myself. I don't want to know. I know that I shouldn't know. But still, I know that I must know. The contradiction of Emiyashiro. The answer to what is wrong with me and how I am distorted. I do not have your memory anymore. But I still remember that scene. That flame filling my vision and the smell of death. The request to help and how I felt when it was granted. The look of relief on Emiya Kiritsugu's face when he saved me. I realized that it is natural to die, and my mind emptied out. I was saved at that time. The man who saved me smiled with tears in his eyes. That is what I thought was beautiful. That's right. It's not that you felt guilty for being the only one saved. You just admired Kiritsugu. You wanted to become like him only because he looked so happy when he saved you. That's right. It's not me that got saved at that time. It's an assumption I did not even think about. If that fire was Kiritsugu's fault, he shouldn't have been able to bear that fact. A tragedy without any survivors. Kiritsugu, the one who caused it, must have frantically searched for a survivor. And he finally found a survivor that it should not have existed. The man found a surviving child that could not be saved. If you talk about miracles, it is... But I knew about that already. I don't care about his circumstances. It was enough for me that it got me out of that hell. Even if it may have been for himself, it's true that he tried to save me and wished for my survival. That's enough. Emiya Kiritsugu saved a boy who had nothing. So, yes, it's natural for a child to admire his parents. But you went too far. It would have been fine if you just admired what Emiya Kiritsugu wanted to become. But he left you a curse at the very end. I do not even need to say it, right? That is everything for you. I'll make your dream That's the answer. Hearing my casual remark, he left the words, "I'm relieved," behind him. And then that man, who was emptier even than me, died. At that moment, Miyashiro had to become a superhero. My will does not matter. For his sake, I simply tried to become what he had admired since he was small. The wish for everyone to be happy is an impossibility dreamed not by me, but by Emiya Kiritsugu. You should know, Shiro. Your ideal is borrowed. You are only imitating what Emiya Kiritsugu wanted to become. What Emiya Kiritsugu thought was right. That is... I grit my teeth, desperately trying to resist my mind that is about to give in. But... a superhero? Do not make me laugh. Over and over you said you wanted to help people, but that wish is not your own. You are conceited to think that such a man could help anyone. He attacks with his swords. With the weight of his contempt behind them, the twin swords are swung more strongly than ever before. Ugh. Seeing those raging swords, I accept my own death, just as I did 10 years ago. The force comes smashing down. There is no elegance in those attacks, and they are executed only using his strength. My left arm shakes from blocking the attack. My fingers that held onto the sword break. The sword I made using all my remaining power is bent back by one blow. I'm dead. I'm on the verge of death from the first blow, so there's no way I'll be able to block the next attack. Ugh. But still, my mind is about to give in, but my body denies it with all its might. It's telling me I'm wrong. It appeals to me, saying it's wrong to give in to his words and to die here. I raise my head. My eyes aren't functioning. They don't see the enemy, but show his memories. In them, I see myself curling up and desperately trying to live. And the echoing of the swords isn't all I hear. He curses himself every time he attacks. That's right. I admired his desire to save people because it is beautiful. I block the oncoming attack. Bakuya is destroyed. All I have left is Kancho in my left hand. But none of that feeling is my own. What else can you call it but hypocrisy? Kancho is bent and its existence is fading. My heart is hurting. Not because of his attacks. His words slash at my heart. I was driven by my obsessive need to help someone. I kept running, neither noticing the pain or how wrong I was. He keeps on denying himself. My heart tries to give up every time I hear him. My body wants to succumb to the force of his attacks. But still, that same body keeps desperately denying him. But it's all fake. Such hypocrisy cannot save anything. No. First of all, I did not know what I wanted to save. I'm smashed away. An attack as strong as one of Berserker's easily flings away Miyashiro's body. But I still hold my ground. I frantically endure the attack coming down at me. I will not be able to get back up if I fall down. So my body refuses to let me fall. I thrust the rapidly fading Kancho into the ground and lean on it. My body sags forward and I cannot even stand upright. I use Kancho as a cane and hold up my falling body with my arms. I must look pitiful. I might look as if I'm kneeling down and begging him. That ideal is a failure. The idea that everyone else is more important than yourself, the wish for everyone to be happy, is all just fantasy. If you can only live by holding on to that ideal, drown in your ideals. He says that. There's no value in living. No, in my life itself. My weapon is about to disappear, and there's little point in trying to keep my body from falling. In contrast, he isn't even scratched. The match is decided. No, the match has been decided from the start. There is no way for Miyashiro to beat heroic spirit Emiya. But that is a mistake. If the difference in our powers was large, the fight wouldn't have turned out like this. It is my mind that lost. My mind was weak because I realized that I am wrong and that he is right. That was my only failure. Because... Shut up. What? Because my body has been telling me I will not lose to you. Why? Why did power enter my body every time he cursed my ideal as fake? Shut up, damn it! I'll reach it. I'll definitely reach it. If parts of me are broken, then I just need to use the parts that aren't. If everything I have is broken, then use the parts I don't have. If my body hasn't lost yet, I can reach out to the part of me that hasn't been used yet. A headache. An instant of a few milliseconds. I see him, probably for the last time. I could not understand him, but I guess I can use his pain as a lesson. A hero who used a poem about himself as his spell. Even if I don't understand the meaning behind it, I will accept those words in your place. I start the spell so that I can be proud of myself. Emiya's words hurt Emiya. He accepted that fact and chose to kill me. That's the only thing he could wish for in the end. Then, just as you deny me, I will defeat you with all my powers. I am the bone of my sword. I murmur the words without realizing it. I raise my head. I pour determination into my dying body. I swallow the blood clotting in my throat. Yang's sword, Kancho, regains its image. You. That's right. I already knew that. This is just a dream, but I kept on believing in it because I thought it was right. Kiritsugu pursued it because he knew it was an unattainable dream, an impossible ideal. Even if it may be unattainable, he believed that he would reach his destination if he kept running. Her sheath. Its protection is still there, even though the contract does not exist anymore. I ready my sword. I don't care about that. I won't lose to you. I don't mind losing against someone, but I can't lose against myself. I will keep on being Emiyashiro. It is an unbelievable technique. His attacking body is on the verge of death. His fingers are broken, his limbs are slashed, and his breathing has stopped without him even realizing it. His speed is nothing, and his attack is mediocre. The boy that had absorbed his combat skills to the point where he's able to fight decently has now returned to fighting without them. An unskilled, frantic attack, but still, this blow is heavier than any that came before. What? Archer's indifference turns into surprise within a second. The swinging swords are crazy. They clash against his longsword with unimaginable speed. Where is his power coming from? The attacks are unlike before. You! He cannot go into defense. This attack should cut through the boy's neck. Realizing that he cannot make light of this boy, he swings his sword. Up and down, left and right. The 4 attacks are enough to cut off his limbs and cut up his body to pieces. The boy blocks them. No, exceeding his 4 attacks, the sword comes to slash his neck. Bringing back the longsword, he parries the attack. You! He intuitively understands that he will be killed unless he attacks. The longsword attacks the enemy that is on the verge of death, and the boy frantically swings his sword. Their swords crash in balance. The space is filled with sparks, and anything entering the space should be cut to pieces. But it should be the last spark that a dying man gives off. The boy loses his breath every time he attacks, almost falls, holds his ground, and attacks again. The sight reassures him. There is no power left in his enemy. The boy in front of him is literally on the verge of death. So why do those arms have seemingly infinite power? I have no consciousness. I can neither tell what the enemy's doing nor if my attacks are doing anything. My muscles are screaming for oxygen, and the lack of blood keeps ordering my body to stop. I suppress them altogether by force. Isn't. That's all filling my head. My ideal is fake. He's right. I can't be a superhero. As long as I admire such a thing, I will end up like the man before me. But I feel a beauty in it. I know it's just hypocrisy to value everyone else over yourself, but still, I admired it, thinking how great it would be if I could live that way. That's the only thing driving my body. Driving my dying body. He cannot hear what his enemy is saying. His enemy's voice is weak, yet his attacks are relentless. Looking, the boy's hands are one with the sword's hilt. It must be to keep the sword in place, but that will transfer the impact directly to his body. The boy is covered in blood, and he will fall forward and die if he retreats. Even swinging the sword should come with great pain. He blocks it in annoyance. His dying enemy gets on his nerves, but he himself gets on his nerves, because even though he knows it will end once he retreats, he's not able to do so. But how can he retreat? Straightforward attacks without strategy. If it is a shame to turn his back to such attacks, it is also a disgrace not to block them. His enemy will self-destruct once he retreats, but he has a presentiment that he will lose something important if he does so. The worries will end soon. His enemy is at his limits. He will fall after 2 more blows, or 3 at most. Damn. He clucks his tongue at the stupid thought. He previously thought that his enemy would last 2 more blows, but he has received over 10 blows since then. The boy will not fall. He cannot hear the boy's voice. The dying boy frantically opposes the obstacle in front of him. That figure. He stares at the figure with his own eyes for the first time. I keep swinging the sword with arms that are about to tear off. The only thing I have left is the one thing I'm saying with all my might. Is it? My barrage of strikes are compensation for that scream. There were people that could not save others, and there was me who could not save them. I swore to myself to never let such a thing happen again, seeing the memories that meaninglessly disappeared. It isn't! How long has it been since then? There were things that I lost, and there were things I dropped. There are always things that will be forgotten. So I swore to myself never to forget this one fact. To become a superhero. I will protect it even if it isn't my wish, or even if it is just sophistry to soften my guilt. It has to come true. The person who saved me died, leaving those words behind. I believe in the wish contained in those words. Even if everyone in the world disagrees with me, and even if I myself curse me, And so, he realizes that the attacks will not end. His enemy will not stop. He will not stop from his own will. The boy is attacking with all his might, but he is not looking at his opponent. The thing the boy is trying to defeat is his obstacle, his own self that is hindering himself. He is swinging his sword to enforce what he has believed in, what he will keep on believing in. Realizing that, the man grits his teeth in annoyance. The boy keeps on challenging it, knowing that he won't win and that there's no meaning to it. That is the exact mistake he has detested. So why? Why does he want to see how long the boy can continue? This is it! Disappear! He raises his longsword. His enemy's attacks are something he has to take seriously. He repels the attacks and crushes his enemy's skull for sure. A clanging sound. The fatal attack is easily deflected. The one who could not block his attacks until now repels a swing made with all his might. He gasps. He sees his enemy repel his sword and get back into stance. The boy's eyes are looking straight at... The impact causes one of my arms and legs to break. My sense of pain hasn't been numbed. I use my fury to clamp down the pain that almost makes me pass out. The left side of the enemy's chest is open. Since half my body is broken, this will be my final blow. But such thoughts do not fill my head. The only thing in my head is... He pulls back his longsword to protect his open left side. He will make it. He will easily make it. This is my final blow. It isn't a mistake! That's the only thing in my head. Even if Miyashiro is fake, this is absolutely true. For everyone to be happy. That is an ideal everyone thinks of. So I won't back down. Because this dream is... The unwavering gaze. Faults and lies. Shaking off everything. Running without stopping. It isn't a mistake! Those words are driven into his chest. Defense that should have been fast enough. The cogwheels never got into gear, and the battle is decided quickly. He hears the sound of the blade piercing him. The one surprised is the knight in red. His enemy attacked with determination to defeat him. Then it is natural for his attack to do so. The boy does not need to be surprised, nor does he have anything to spare to be surprised. That is why the knight is the only one that is surprised. It is a great wonder how he could not block the attack he could have easily blocked. I support myself with my unbroken right leg. The sword in my hand has pierced Archer's chest. Archer? Why? Was she watching all this time from that place? Still standing at the entrance, Saber questions Archer. Archer does not answer. He might not need to answer, or maybe he doesn't know the answer. My fingers throb. My broken fingers scream at me that they do not want to hold the sword anymore. The knight in red does not move. Even with a blade in his chest, a servant should be able to easily counterattack. But his hands are lowered and show no sign of moving. I know without being told what that means. I won, Archer. I make the declaration while looking at him. The knight in red closes his eyes once, and... Yes, and I lost. He murmurs while looking off into the distance, as if to convince himself. I pull out the sword. The projected weapon disperses as soon as it touches outside air. The tension floods out of me, and I finally take notice of my condition. It's terrible. The slashed wounds are healing, but lots of places are turning dark red. Archer said something about Saber's sheath, but what's that power putting priority on? It heals the torn flesh at once, but it seems to be putting off the broken bones until later. Then, I hear loud footsteps from the west side, the hallway that Lancer disappeared into. Someone's coming. She appears in the terrace and jumps down without hesitation. Ow! And she moans in pain at her landing. Shiro, are you alright? Wait, Archer! What's with that wound? She follows her sudden arrival with a torrent of questions. It seems Lancer saved Tosca as he promised, but Tosca's energy takes the power out of me. Does she want to check on my safety, or is she angry about Archer's wound? Man, I'm really soft-hearted. If she'd been more cruel, I wouldn't have returned to my old self. He talks sarcastically, but his voice only contains warmth. After looking at Tosca once, the knight in red steps back as if to exit the stage. Well, the match is settled. A hero called Emiya cannot stay here now that he has approved of you. The loser should leave right away. Without saying goodbye to Tosca, his wound is deep and he has no master. He will disappear here, and he will return to the original place as a heroic spirit. Huh? It happens in an instant. It is a fatal attack that takes the opening in me, as I have relaxed after seeing Tosca. Several swords are called forth. The rain of swords comes down to pierce Shiro's body end. Well, dead end. I fall. I'm pushed back and I fall on my butt. I'm pushed back about a meter, in front of me. Oh, well, maybe not. Well, technically it is a dead end for, the other Emiya. My broken limbs cannot support my body, and I do not have the power to get back up. And so, I can only look up at myself that got skewered in front of me. Who is it? Saber's scream cuts open the silence. She's looking at the second floor, on top of the crumbled stairs. I have enjoyed it. Indeed, it was a pitiful battle, one befitting of a pair of fakes. Archer? 10 years, huh, Saber? I was going to see you earlier, but my plans have changed. Unexpected things kept on happening, and things are going against my will. Servant Gilgamesh, the one to defeat Berserker and the one who killed Iliasfeel. He turns aside Saber's glare and looks down at me and the skewered archer. Well, do you understand now? That is the strength of the real thing. No matter how well you imitate its shape and power, it is still only an imitation. It does not even approach the radiance of the real ones. He raises his hand. It's as if he is ordering his soldiers. I cannot even stand to look at a counterfeit that a faker has created. You piece of trash. You have nothing real within you. An imitation made by copying people should be turned into junk. He shoots numerous noble phantasms. The unavoidable rain pours down. There are about 30 of them. I couldn't dodge or block them even if I was in perfect condition. Clouds of dust spring up. The shower of swords tears apart the already ruined hall. But even in the midst of the chaos, I see it. The red cloak flies. Still skewered, he runs to me and pushes me once again. I'm pushed away from the red figure. His eyes are telling me, you defeat him. That as long as I defeated Archer, and as long as I want to be a superhero, I must defeat him. The clouds of dust fill my vision. The red cloak sinks inside the rubble, but I see it before he disappears. His eyes are filled with confidence. That servant is no match for us, Miyashiro. Neither Saber nor Tosca will be the one to defeat him. My own self is telling me that Miyashiro is the natural enemy of that servant. Well, Saber did defeat him in the Fate route, but I guess that's not really true here. Well, especially since she's not really Shiro's servant anymore. My vision clears up. Dust is in the air, and the rubble is piled up high. There is nothing else. The knight in red disappeared underneath the rubble. Oh, I'm surprised, Archer. You had enough to spare to save someone else in that situation? His sarcastic words contain some scorn. The man smiles in satisfaction as he looks down at the hall filled with Archer's blood. Silence falls. Gilgamesh is the most powerful being here. Anyone that moves will follow Archer's fate. Even Saber is silent, wondering how best to attack the enemy. But whose permission did you get to attack my Archer? With Archer's death, Tosca has lost her composure. Light runs across space. Pure destructive force, magical energy released from the jewel without any processing. He does not even dodge it. He isn't even scratched. I was going to kill that dying kid first. But it seems the order has changed, woman. He orders the swords behind him to carry out Tosca's execution. The sword is released at high velocity. Saber runs with surpassing speed and protects her master. Saber! Please step back, Rin. He is dangerous. He will kill you if you attack him recklessly. Oh, so you are her master now? Fine. Then I shall overlook your rudeness. I will lose one of my pleasures if Saber disappears. Saber glares at the enemy while readying her invisible sword. Why are you here, Archer? You were summoned in the previous Holy Grail War. So why are you here again in this war? That is wrong. I merely stayed in this world after the previous war. What? Ridiculous. Servants should lose connection with this world once the Holy Grail disappears. There's no way you can stay in this world for 10 years. That is not true. The connection with this world is not the Holy Grail, but the Master. The Holy Grail merely opened up the passage. I can stay in this world as long as a Magus provides me with magical energy. But then, there aren't that many Masters that can maintain a servant without help from the Holy Grail. In that regard, my Master did not have enough magical energy. Then it should not be possible for you to stay in this world. If your master cannot support a servant, you should have dried up along with your master. That depends on how one does it. Magi make up lack of a magic circuit with knowledge. In that regard, my master was exceptional. Was? Then his master is gone now? No, his master is Shinji. The fact that he, the man who would not obey anyone, obeyed Shinji is proof of that. Then your master did the same thing as Ryder's master? Yes, it is only natural to take away from others if you cannot supply it yourself. But to be honest, I did not need such a thing. I'm the only servant that the Holy Grail poured on. I have already completed the incarnation 10 years ago. Saber stares at the man in astonishment. Saber hangs her head at the words 10 years ago. Yes, all thanks to you, Saber. I know what that thing is. I was covered in its contents and I saw what existed in it. Then you... Yes, I understand the true identity of the Holy Grail. I decided at that time I will be the only one who will handle it. Saber. No, looking down at all of us, he declares something that is unbefitting for a servant. You will use the Holy Grail? That's right. There's no need for me to share it with a parasite like my master. I will use the Holy Grail for my objective. The biggest obstacle, the summoner, was eliminated. All that's left are pathetic magi that would be completely unsuited to being the vessel. Such failures are suited for my wish. But then, your flesh might make a perfect Holy Grail. The man looks at Tosca. Oh! Tosca must feel the danger as she grows pale and steps back. His red eyes are ominous. One would feel uncomfortable under the weight of that gaze. His eyes are so aberrant that even Tosca is frightened of them. Ridiculous. The Holy Grail is what the Master obtains. We servants cooperate with our masters because we cannot obtain it ourselves. That is strange. The servants are the only ones who can touch the Holy Grail, but masters are the only ones who can obtain it. It's all ridiculous nonsense. The fight for the Holy Grail by 7 masters? A ritual where the last master obtains the Holy Grail? That is only an excuse made for outsiders. The summoning of the Holy Grail is already completed. They always call for the 7 servants after the Holy Grail is prepared. Do you understand, King of Knights? They do not want the Holy Grail, but what goes in it. Masters are just circuits to summon us. Magi made the Holy Grail, but they could not prepare its contents. I told you earlier, right? They are ones that take away from others if they cannot supply it themselves. The purest magical energy to fill the Holy Grail. The greatest souls of humanity, the Guardians, are what they sought. The 7 servants are sacrifices they prepared. What? Saber looks up at the man in astonishment. Her eyes are desperately trying to deny his words. That it isn't possible. She's trying to deny it, saying that what she wished for, the Holy Grail, cannot be such a thing. You should not be surprised. The Holy Grail is a filtration device that turns the soul into pure magical energy. Yes, it should let you grant any wish. It contains more magical energy than a magus could ever use within his lifetime. That is why it is better with more sacrifices. It should be omnipotent with 6 servants as sacrifices. 5 servants have filled the Holy Grail. Only 1 more is needed for the omnipotent Grail they sought. Then only the Masters can handle the Holy Grail. If it is a repository of pure magical energy, only Magi can use it. Yes, if the Master is an excellent Magus, it will grant him any wish? You idiot! Such miracles are not given to mere humans. Humans only destroy themselves, no matter how much power they are given. But, do not worry, Saber. This Holy Grail is real. If you insert 7 servants in it, it will reach the origin. Origin? Hold on. Then could the Holy Grail be... I do not know who it was, but the one who made this rule is a genius. But it does not concern me. I have no interest in such a thing. All I'm interested in is the Holy Grail's ability to serve as the gate. What? The Holy Grail is a gate? Huh! It happened 10 years ago. You opposed me right when I was about to obtain the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail was cut by the Holy Sword, and what poured out burned the town. As I was right underneath the Holy Grail, I was showered with it. I understood the true identity of the Holy Grail at that time. It was worthless. It is worthless, but it does have its uses. Not many weapons are specialized in murder as that. The Holy Grail is fine as is. There's no need to turn it into an omnipotent vessel. Weapon. Are you saying that a weapon is created out of servants? We are weapons to begin with. That thing has only perfected that. The Holy Grail is a gate to hell. 5.6 billion curses will flow out from it once it is opened. Kotomine did not tell you about it. The Holy Grail is named Angramayu, or all evils of the world. It is a mud that will consume every human being, like the name states. Angramayu. I think that's the name of the devil in Zoroastrianism? Zoroastrianism? I cannot pronounce that. The leader of evil that opposes God for many thousands of years. It is an embodiment of the evil in all human, and it is depicted as a reflected image of all of humanity's goodwill. But why is the Holy Grail named after the ancient Persian devil? Then your intention is to... Yes, to sweep the humans away. I have no intention of admiring humanity like Kotomine. I only admire beautiful things. The world is enjoyable, but it is incorrigible at the same time. It is an insult to the king for many wretches to be enjoying life. I do not want to rule over such a world. Are you stupid? What an insult to the king! It's meaningless to be king if all humans are eliminated. I do not care if they die out. There is no point to their lives if they end them through their own crimes. I do not want mongrels. I only want ones worth ruling over that can survive even the flames of hell. In that respect, they were an utter failure 10 years ago. If such a pitiful blaze will wipe them out, humans truly have become weak. He grins. For the first time, he looks at me, who he said is a failure. I do not know what this all evils of the world is, but it is convenient. It is a reaper that strikes down all humans equally. An endless darkness that is born from humans and kills them. It is an appropriate hound to entrust with the work I should be doing. Gilgamesh raises his hand. Behind him are noble phantasms waiting for the king's order. Then let us continue the battle from 10 years ago. A boring mongrel got involved last time, but there will be no such interruptions this time. But then, it seems a worse faker is here. The swords are all pointed at me. I will my broken legs to stand, but they do not move. Damn, I can't even manage to block one of those. So why? Why did Archer leave behind that message? Oh, how convenient. Huh? The swords disappear. The golden servant suddenly lowers his arm. After looking up at the ceiling in discomfort, he brushes away the dust on his shoulder. The ashes will dirty me. You escaped death this time, child. Huh? The castle is burning. I don't know who set the fire, but it must be huge. The 3rd floor is burning down, and the 2nd floor has caught fire as well. No, that's not the surprising thing. He really stopped the battle just because he was going to get dirty from the ashes. Are you running away, Archer? I am only changing the location. I have the Holy Grail. It is my policy to finish matters quickly. I shall quickly construct the Holy Grail and open up the gate to hell. His golden hair flutters. Gilgamesh walks to the terrace that isn't yet burning. You should hurry up if you want to recover it. The Holy Grail this time is a hurriedly constructed defect. All the contents will spill out if you do not hurry. His stifled laughter echoes through the room. And he leaves the burning castle like that. Sparks are dancing through the room, and the ceiling is tinted red. The gorgeous castle shows no traces of what it used to be. The castle without a master crumbles without trace, as if to follow the girl in white. Mato Shinji is running through the forest with beast-like breath. He is actually running along a selected route, but his mentality is that of a wanderer. He is running away without aim, so the word wandering is more befitting. Damn! I was so close and everyone's getting in my way! He pushes the branches aside with one hand and runs while scattering wet dirt. Leaving a trail of blood behind him, Mato Shinji heads to the edge of the forest. He has not treated the wound he received from Lancer. He does not feel his right arm anymore. The wound is inflamed and his arm will not move, as though dead. He must not be able to run with only one arm, as he slips and leans against a tree. His dangling right arm is like a piece of trash. As soon as he realizes that a part of his body is a useless piece of trash, Mato Shinji starts laughing. Somebody's gone crazy. The laughter comes out like a racking cough. It hurts. It must be because of the wound that his body is burning hot. In a daze, he imagines his wounded arm rotting away. After that, he imagines everyone around him rotting away. Not just one of their arms. He has one arm. All the other idiots should lose both their arms. He can't stop laughing. With that decision made, the pain becomes bearable. He has a legitimate purpose now. The first thing he would do is collect every possible arm. There would be no exceptions. That's great! I know whose arms I'll get first! The girl that did not become his. Since she is his favorite, he cannot allow her to be superior to him. Yeah, just you wait, Tosuka. I'll make you inferior. Laughing, Mato Shinji raises his head. Man, this guy's just a total fucking creep. Huh? When did he appear? His servant is standing right in front of him. You. He looks at his servant in surprise. The golden servant looks down at Mato Shinji as if looking at livestock. You were wounded. That must hurt. As he says something that he does not mean. Mato Shinji's face contorts. Without realizing the true intention of this servant, he glares at the man before him. That must hurt. Whose fault do you think it is? I got hit by Lancer because you are stupid! Don't talk shit when you can't even be my guard dog! With his head on fire, Mato Shinji insults his servant. The golden servant nods, saying, "This will do." So, Lancer inflicted that wound of yours, huh? Then it must have been him that released that master. Yeah! Tosuka ran away because you were such a slow ass! It makes me want to puke thinking about how I lost to somebody who was almost dead! I see. That is too bad. Why are you so calm? We can't obtain the Holy Grail without Tosuka, right? Damn! Everything's ruined because of you! Do you understand? What are we going to... Do not worry. Everything is as planned. The Holy Grail can still be created. The servant's voice contains no emotion. Mato Shinji does not realize that the red eyes aren't looking at him. How? Konamine said that even if we had the Holy Grail, we can't make it if there's no vessel. That kid's heart is not enough. That won't turn into a Holy Grail unless we connect it to a magic circuit, right? Mato Shinji walks up to his servant and scolds him for his stupidity. The golden servant nods and... There is no problem. There is another master here that can be a vessel. He thrusts his arm. Ooh, a piercing sound. Mato Shinji never finds out what the sound is. Huh? But he feels something funny in his stomach. Looking down, he sees his servant's arm there. The fist is inside his body. There is neither pain nor blood. The servant's arm is in his body, like the absurd spiritual object he saw before. You want the Holy Grail, right? Then I shall give it to you. If you want it so much, do not let go of it. His blood vessels expand. After feeling the sensation of billions of worms squirming through his body and trying to get out, he becomes something that is not Mato Shinji. What in the holy fuck is that? Holy shit. It convulses. The swollen object is literally a lump of meat. There is no shape to it. It is composed of exposed meat and blood vessels, quickly forming meat and quickly decaying meat.
It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It's growing. It's growing. Help. Stop.
Unable to bear the pain of the repeating growth and decay and the sensation of something wriggling inside of him, he loses his sanity. After watching it, the servant lets him go as if nothing has happened. This is ugly. A powerful maga should not change form, but I guess it cannot be helped. A chain comes down. Descending from the sky, heaven's chains bind the writhing mass of flesh. The balance of expansion and decay is about the same right now, but the Holy Grail should figure out its master soon enough. Expansion should overwhelm the decay by then. His Holy Grail should be completed in no time. Ugly things are tastier. Most of all, you shall spit out suitable mud, Shinji. The servant laughs. And beside him, the piece of meat repeats, "Help me," in a voice that is no longer human. Well, I didn't know we were in Dark Souls now. I still don't feel sorry for him. I don't. Shinji's just a complete fucking asshole. I don't feel bad. I don't. He kind of deserves that. Shiro, are your wounds alright? Even still, even though I do not like Shinji, like, he kind of has the same personality. I think Shinji is kind of, in a way, similar to, like, Joffrey from Game of Thrones. They're both, like, reprehensible pieces of shit. That the only difference with Joffrey is that in Game of Thrones he's a fucking king. So I guess imagine if Shinji were a king and he had like absolute authority and he could do whatever the fuck he wants. That's pretty much Joffrey. Like they pretty much are both sadistic fuckers that are just completely irredeemable in any fucking aspect. So, huh? Oh yeah, it's fine. I feel good and I can still use my circuits. Even though you pretty much almost died, or you should have been dead. But hey, regenerative powers. I see. That is good. Apparently, having run out of things to talk about, Saber awkwardly ends the conversation. We've been like this for an hour since we came home. We don't have the composure to be celebrating Tosuka's safety, nor did we celebrate our reunion. The situation isn't good at all. The last servant, Gilgamesh. As long as he has the Holy Grail, we have to fight him. We don't have any plans to beat him. The more we think about it, the more we realize it's hopeless. It's only natural for us to grow quiet. But I don't think that's the only reason we're quiet. This is probably the end. This will be the last time we will go into battle like this. No matter what the results may be, what awaits us does not change. The Holy Grail War will end. After that, the three of us won't be able to talk like this. Looking back, it was only a course of about 10 days. I never had time to think back about what happened the day before, and I was too busy with all the events that came up one after another. But they weren't just painful events. Looking back at it, these past 10 days are precious memories that can't be replaced. That's why we're keeping our mouths shut. We don't want to admit the obvious truth. The decision should be clear to all of us already. We can't say it because we don't want to end it like this. Then I'll say it. I'm going to avenge Archer. He betrayed me and he was a twisted guy, but he's Shiro. Tosuka has made up her mind. She says that she will fight Gilgamesh. She clearly states that she will end this fight. Spoiler alert, she's not going to. She's not going to fight Gilgamesh. How about you, Shiro? I'll have Saber come with me no matter what, but I can't force you to fight since you're not a master. It seems that Goldie really hates you, so I think he'll go after you first if we fight him. I really wish she would just call him Blondie like she did in the anime. Blondie. Maybe Tosuka's trying to be considerate by offering me an escape, but I'm already determined. I can't let Gilgamesh be. I intuitively know that the Holy Grail shouldn't exist. But there's a bigger reason for me not to back out of this. Yeah, because the Holy Grail is really some kind of Lovecraftian monstrosity. Who would have thought? You defeat him. He left those words and let me survive instead of him. The man who only denied him is Shiro. As I have made him admit his defeat, my path is determined. I'm going to defeat him. I chose to fight. He'll complain to me unless I keep my word until the very end. I see. I won't stop you if that's what you decided. Yeah, and I can't just ignore the Holy Grail. If the Holy Grail is what he says it is, we have to destroy it. We'll completely destroy it so something like this will never happen again. Saber has fought with the objective of obtaining the Holy Grail. Her hesitation and reluctance aren't easy to overcome, but still. Or aren't easily overcome. I understand. If the Holy Grail is what Gilgamesh says it is, it should not exist in this world. She kills her wish, in a sense. Alright. I get up and head to the kitchen. I put on the apron. I tie it behind my back and roll up my sleeves. Shiro? What? Did you come up with a good idea? Huh? No, I'm just going to make something. You two are hungry, right? When matters get really serious, it's time to make some fucking food. The only thing that I really don't like, or one of my main complaints about this, is there's so much fucking, like, what is with the kitchen scenes? Why? Why are they there? I mean, holy shit, I just don't get it. I ignore the astonished party and start preparing dinner. It's all decided. Now we just need to act like always. It's kind of like in Persona 4 when you just cook something and it explains, like, it asks you what ingredients you need to put in, or it explains, like, about the ingredients. It's like, why? Why is this here? I just want to make food, damn it. We'll eat dinner together and go beat him after that. Can't fight on empty stomachs or save the world on empty stomachs. I take out a bowl and a frying pan. I'll use everything I have in the refrigerator. I'll forget about everything tonight. I'll make a delicious feast. I am the bone of my spatula. You're right. Let us eat dinner like always. That suits us. Of course it suits you, you fat gluttonous slob. Saber. Yeah, then I guess I'll help as well. Oh, Saber, can you go prepare the bath? Take a bath together. The serious atmosphere disappears like that. The living room suddenly becomes more lively. This will be the last night with the three of us. We're doing our best to keep it like always and have a good dinner. But no, I wanted to know the methods of how you cooked that. Why didn't you tell me? So, after eating dinner consisting of Western, Chinese, and Japanese food, we start the customary strategy meeting. So you were saying the Holy Grail is at the Ryudo Temple? Yep, I guess that the Ryudo Temple would be the summoning spot this time. I was using a familiar to spy on that place, but it was eliminated just a bit earlier. I'm sure that the Goldie is there. The Goldie. Ryudo Temple. That is troublesome. We can only enter that mountain through the front gate. Gilgamesh should be waiting for us there. Yeah, but on the other hand, it's easier on us because we know where he is. He's troublesome, but stopping the summoning of the Holy Grail takes priority. It would be ideal if we can destroy the Holy Grail while Saber keeps him busy. Hold on, isn't Saber the only one who can destroy the Holy Grail? We can't touch it, right? Right. We can't destroy the summoned Holy Grail, but we can destroy the vessel before it's summoned. To be more precise, we're stopping the Holy Grail before it's activated. Well, what do you mean by stopping the Holy Grail? I really don't want to think about it, but from what I heard, the Holy Grail is Iliasfield's heart, right? But I think the Holy Grail is a set with Iliasfield's body, her magic circuit. He didn't want Iliasfield to be the Holy Grail, so he pulled out the core of it, her heart. So, he has to implant the heart into Amagus' body to activate it as the Holy Grail. There are only two remaining masters, me and one other. Since I'm here, the one he will choose to be the foundation of the Holy Grail is... Shinji? But Shinji, doesn't have a magic circuit, right? I bet he doesn't care. He wants to make an incomplete Holy Grail, so I'm sure he'll implant it into an incomplete master. Even if its bloodline is extinct, the Mato family has hereditary traces of magic circuits. Even a closed circuit will be forced to open if something like a nuclear fusion reactor is implanted into him. What? Nuclear fusion reactor? What? Then that would mean we'll have to detach the Holy Grail from Shinji, huh? I don't know what it means to be the Holy Grail's foundation, but if possible, we'll have to stop it. Apparently it means becoming a giant lump of flesh. But I do not think Gilgamesh will allow that. Does it not mean that... Does it not mean that stopping the Holy Grail is to defeat Gilgamesh? Yeah, it's obvious that he's protecting the Holy Grail, so we have to do something about him fast. Or we have to do something about him first. Yeah, I think he's waiting for us at the mountain gate. The only route we have is the mountain gate because our greatest force, Saber, can only enter through there. So... I see. I will rush through the mountain gate by myself. Rin and Shiro will sneak into the Ryudo Temple from the back while I do so. The boundary field on the Ryudo Temple is meaningless for you two. Exactly. You will need to give your absolute best, but just keep him busy. We'll come help you as soon as we stop the Holy Grail. Hold on, that's reckless. Saber won't be a match for him. She can't keep him busy. Well, she did last time. Huh? What? You seem to think pretty highly of him, Shiro. True. He is a strong enemy, but I will not lose easily if I go into defense. Please tell me what that opinion is based on. Oh, good job, Shiro. You just offended her. Oh, that's not what I meant. From what I see, Saber's stronger than him. I'm sure of it. I'll bet on it, too. Then why are you saying that? You can't beat him as long as you're a heroic spirit. Yeah, Saber won't lose if he only had the same noble phantasm as Saber. We don't even need to compare the two skills as swordsmen. But his power isn't power as an individual. A soldier can't beat war itself no matter how strong he is, right? He's a heroic spirit of that kind. You'll be defeated unless you're a war just like him. So are you telling me that my attributes are not fit to fight him? Yeah, Tosuka, we can't let Saber fight him without a plan. There's no way she can win unless we have some sort of a countermeasure. Hey, I know that already. That's why we're going to think about it now. Then you have a plan, Rin? Hey now, I won't conveniently come up with an idea in a flash. His noble phantasm is a war, like Shiro said. The outcome of a war is decided by how much force you have, right? It's not how well you can handle the weapon, it's how much force you can prepare. What's wrong, Tosuka? Why did you shut up all of a sudden? I see. That's why he treated you like an enemy. Since the heroic spirit doesn't have his own noble phantasm, there's no original. Oh, wait. That means... Rin, what is wrong? Why are you behind me? It's nothing. I'm going to think, so just talk it over with the two of you. Saber and I look at each other. Well, I'll leave her alone if she has an idea. Oh, she sure does. Then I should avoid fighting Archer one-on-one, correct? But I have backup from Rin. I can use my noble phantasm with her support. I believe there is a chance of beating him before he can use his noble phantasm. Your noble phantasm? Not invisible air? No, invisible air is only a sheath. I can use my holy sword if Rin allows it. This is the sword that previously destroyed the Holy Grail. I see. Then it'll all be up to Tosuka? Yes, there will be a big burden on me as well as Rin if I use it. I'll probably use up most of her magical energy. Did you hear that, Tosuka? How much magical energy can you spare? Magical energy can I spare? How do you know what I'm thinking about? Huh? No, it's nothing. I told you to leave me alone. I know about Saber's noble phantasm. She should be able to use it twice with our magical energy. We're going to use it once against the Holy Grail, so you can only use it once against Gilgamesh. I see. So, Saber, that's what Tosuka's saying, so what do you think? I do not know. If Archer has every existing noble phantasm, he should have one that can equal mine. After that, it depends on who's the strongest. I see. So it's going to end up being a fight between the noble phantasms, huh? Then Gilgamesh is likely to win. I can't let Saber fight such a hopeless battle. Man, I can't think. She's been acting strange. Why does she keep on looking at me like that? Hey, Tosuka, come out with it if you want to say something. You have an idea, right? I don't have an idea. I can't say such a thing here, you idiot. She yells at me and looks away awkwardly. Shiro? No, it's nothing. She's acting weird, so let's ignore her and keep planning. We continue with the strategy meeting with just the two of us. But as our brain, Tosuka, won't talk, we can't come up with anything. We can go with the previous plan if you guys can't come up with anything. We'll head out before dawn. Everybody is to rest until then. Our course of action is decided by Tosuka. She seems like kind of the leader of this group. I guess since she's the quote-unquote brain. Some time passed after that. It's almost midnight. Tosuka told me I should take a nap, but I can't sleep in a situation like this. We're going to settle our score with that servant in a few hours. Since we are heading out before dawn, everything should be over by the time the sun rises. I can't just lay here and not do anything. Go over the strategy with Tosuka, go to the dojo and check up on Saber. Let's just save here. I already kind of know what we should do. Go over a strategy with Tosuka, go to check on Saber. Yeah, we're gonna go with the first one. I think that should be pretty obvious to everybody. Yeah, I can't sleep in this situation. A plan against Gilgamesh. If we were to fight that cold-hearted enemy, I'll have to come up with some plan. Someone will die if we head to the Ryudo Temple as we are now. Compared to that, thinking until the very last minute is nothing. Are you awake, Tosuka? I knock on her door. Hold on! Don't come in! I thought Tosuka would be sleeping, but I guess she's still awake. More importantly, she's in a panic. After a few minutes of rustling sounds, she must have calmed down. After taking a breath I can hear even outside, Tosuka opens the door. So, what? Tosuka glares at me as soon as she sees me. Well, I want to continue our conversation from earlier. I want to keep talking about how to fight Gilgamesh. Wait, why are you glaring at me? Tosuka, are you in a bad mood? I ask the obvious. Of course! That's the obvious response she's going to give, but I have to ask. What? No, that's not true. She gives a strange response. Tosuka, are you sick or something? No! Jeez, just sit down. I'm going to give you a plan to beat Gilgamesh since you can't come up with any. Tosuka pulls me inside, locks the door, and walks to the back of the room. Why did you have to lock the door? I move to the center of the room for now. I sit down on the cushion and face Tosuka, who is sitting in a chair. Well, this is awkward, and an awkward silence follows. Tosuka is silent even though she's the one with the plan. Tosuka, about Gilgamesh. I know. You don't want Saber to fight him, right? You're especially kind to her. Hey, that's not the point here. I'm saying that we should switch the roles since Saber won't fare well against Gilgamesh. If Saber is defeated, you'll be his next target. Huh. You say switch roles, so what are you thinking? I'm going to pass. That gold used his riches to collect all the magic-resistant equipment in the world. I'll do much worse than Saber. That should be the same for you as well, right? That's true, but... I can't get those eyes out of my head. Archer definitely told me this. That the Golden Servant... That only Imashiro can match Gilgamesh. Tosuka, don't get mad and hear me out. I'm going to fight. You're going to fight him, right? Oh, so you realized it too, huh? Gilgamesh's natural enemy is Archer's magic. Huh? I open my mouth in surprise. Huh? You said you were going to fight him when you haven't realized that? I didn't have any proof, but I thought that I might have the best luck against him. Oh, I don't know who told you that, but you're right. What makes Gilgamesh so strong is the number of noble phantasms he has. But to put it another way, one can match him if one has the same number of noble phantasms. The same number of noble phantasms? It means I need to reproduce all the noble phantasms he takes out. That's right. He was calling you guys fakers. That's probably because he saw you two as a threat. Heroic Spirit Imiya would be a complete match for him. That's true, but... maybe. But that's impossible. I can barely manage to project one of Archer's swords. I can't keep up with his noble phantasms, and I don't have enough magical energy to do so. That's if your magic is just like it was until now. But you remember what Archer's noble phantasm was, right? You can match Gilgamesh if you can use that magic, that reality marble. Tosca stares at me, but I can't live up to her expectation. That's impossible. The reality marble is the ultimate forbidden magic. I don't know how to use it, and Archer used magical energy several times my capacity to create that world. That's totally impossible. Yeah, I know it's impossible, but I want you to do it anyway. But you should know how to use it, because all your magic is rooted in that. Strengthening and projection both stem from your reality marble. I'm sure it'll be a piece of cake once you have the necessary magical energy. She's talking about impossible things. I have no way to do it, so this is more impossible than for me to go to the moon. Okay, let's say that's the case, but it's still impossible. I don't have the magical energy to set up the boundary field or maintain it. He must have trained his magic circuit for a long time, but I don't have the magical energy. I know. So, see, Gilgamesh said it too, right? Imagine I take it from somewhere else if they can't supply it themselves. She murmurs. He did say something like that, but what about it? Jeez. So, I have to do something about that insufficient part. Oh no. There's no voice acting anymore. I don't like that. Tosca blushes furiously, her voice trailing off to a whisper. What? I know. I'm a magus, even if I may be an amateur. I know what Tosca just said. Tosca, that's... There are only a few ways for Magi to tune in, right? We're of the opposite sex, and we don't have we don't have time. So it's the most efficient way, since it's like a contract. Indeed, it is. Although some people don't want to adhere to that said contract sometimes, and it turns out to just be a one-night stand. But you know, it works the same way. So I'm going to have sex with Tosca to connect with her, so that I can use her magical energy. Okay, I think this is the point where I'm going to stop. And, yeah, basically, her and Shiro are going to bang, and we're not going to record that because YouTube doesn't like it. And yeah, we're going to end the video here, and the next video, I'm assuming, will probably be the last part of the Unlimited Blade Works read through, and then we'll get to the epilogue. So, until then, I will see you guys later. Okay, so there was something there's a little part after the scene. So, I guess this is somewhat important. Yeah, this is... I close my eyes and feel the magical energy pouring into me. Tosca isn't consciously supplying me with magical energy yet, but it's already enough to fill me up. If Shiro's magical capacity is 20 or 30, she always has 500 magical energy. I'm sure it would take years to fill up her whole capacity, but I bet her maximum capacity could reach 1,000. I'm amazed. She really is amazing. It makes me realize her greatness again. Well, she's exhausted right now, and most Magi only keep about 80% of their magical energy. So Tosca only has about 400 magical energy right now. But that's still a huge amount. I use about 2 magical energy to use 1 strengthening magic, and about 5 magical energy to use 1 projection magic. Using that example, I can use my projection magic dozens of times now when I could only do it 6 times before. Well, a cheap vehicle will overheat even if there is enough gasoline, but this has greatly increased my power. I might even be able to beat that King of Heroes with this. All that's left is... There's 1 more hour. I should rest my body until then. I'll rest and restore the energy I used by having sex. Everything is set. I'll fully prepare myself since Tosca has opened up her body to me. Yeah!